Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of That's Delivered, your go-to podcast for all things trucking and transportation. I'm your host, Ray, and today we have a special guest with us, Dr. Carlos Otero from EF Routing. EF Routing is transforming the trucking industry with their innovative technology and solutions. We're excited to learn more about their journey and their mission. So let's dive right in. Um, how you doing today, Carlos?
Good, good, good. I'm very happy to be here in your program.
Awesome. And then we have also another guest with us. Who do we have with us?
Yeah, my name's Gino. I do sales, partner with Carlos here on the project. So
That's awesome. Thanks for coming over. Yeah, I'm glad to have you both here.
yeah, happy to
Two
be
for
here.
one deal. Yeah, so can you kind of tell us a little more about your backgrounds and what got you involved in the trucking industry? You can share that with the audience.
Of course. Well, my grandfather, he was also in the trucking business. So since I was a kid, I was involved in the whole process, even spending weekends covered on oil, trying to fix the truck. So later I went to school. I did engineering. Then later I went to grad school. I went to California. Then I studied a PhD in civil environmental engineering. And I was working in different projects, basically in science, about how to improve trucking operations and logistics in general. So one of those projects was about how to make more profitable the use of electric trucks. Then when I got my degree, I wanted to test that technology also in regular trucks and diesel trucks. So I went out for funding, found a company in Fort Lauderdale that was willing to found our company, and then we started with that. But during that process of trying to, let's say, design this concept for EF routing, we were in touch with many carriers, and there is a particular story that definitely touched me and made me feel like, made me convince myself to work in this industry. That was uh, this group of carriers that were living in Florida, and usually they had really long trips for 5, 6 weeks, traveling all around the country. And they were telling me about how complex was their life because they didn't have home time. They were growing kids and just wanted to be with them, but they couldn't because job wasn't a big constraint. Then I realized that I had a tool. Well, I say me, but also there are other two founders that they also have the same vision to me, and so we started working in that tool, not only to create more profit for carriers, but also to give them the tools to have on higher life quality. So be bagging home when they want it. So via routing started with a concept which was make more profit per mile, but also keep your life balance for carriers and owner operators. And then later, Gino joined the team. Can you tell Gino a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, my background is more. I came from actually from winemaking. I went to California to study winemaking at the same university where we ended up meeting and being roommates. And so I was working in the wine industry for the last 4 or 5 years. And then once he started this project, he asked me to come on and do sales. So now I'm here. I've been working with it for the last about year, and it's been a lot of fun. Super exciting to be
Yeah,
a part of a new sort of concept for the industry that definitely could use some updated methods.
I like how
Yeah.
you say that. Yeah, update it. Can't go wrong with that, especially when you're riding around in the truck a lot and putting miles on. Who has time to do software work? And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's nice to know that you have people out there that are working on it, share that same passion. That's
Yeah.
great. I look at your website, I look at what you guys have. Looks real professional. And you guys are doing a kick-butt job with it. So, man,
Thank
I'm proud of you. Yeah. And
Thank you.
yeah, I got to see Carlos at the truck show. So,
Yep.
yeah, that was nice. I had all the booths out there. You were out there putting in the work, right on
you.
the ground there. That's good. So
Later on in the show, we can show the tool in real time for the audience too.
Oh, wow. Heck yeah.
Mhm.
That'd be sweet. Yeah. So your journey into the trucking industry is quite unique. You know, you think about how you got into there and you mix that with your background with the education. I mean, that's very unique. What specific problems did you identify during your studies that led you to develop the technology behind EF routing? What were some of the challenges?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the first thing that we have to understand in the trucking industry, in particular the spot market, is that this is a fragmented market. It means pieces of information for making good decisions in this industry are all spread around. So let's say, for example, you want to take a load from Houston to Chicago, right? So the information about those loads is in different sources, right? So about, let's say, there are different brokers, different shippers that they know that they have those loads and they want to post it in somewhere. So to start with, that information is not centralized. It's just split, right? But in order to decide where to go or how to handle a profitable operation, you need to know way more than just the loads. You need information about different things, let's say traffic conditions, about what are the chances that you get an another good load when you get to that destination, et cetera, et cetera. There are thousands of even, I could say, even a million of factors that are affecting the efficiency of this operation and the performance. So the first thing, the first challenge we had was put together the information to make good decisions, right? So let me rephrase that. Without centralized information, you cannot make good decisions in a market that is fragmented like this one. So that was the first challenge, okay? Put together the information. So people will access information and make good decisions based on that. But let's say you have the right information now. Now you need a series of tools to put together that information, process it, and make it actionable. And then this means you need to develop different algorithms to make those decisions for you, or at least to help you to make those decisions. For instance, we have algorithms that are able to create a complete route plan from origin to back to origin. Let's say you are right now in Houston, and then you want to drive for the next 7 days. So our tool, it will gather all the information about those markets and made on a complete plan from Houston and back to Houston in, let's say, 7 days, right? So usually what happens with those loops, those complete routes, is that they are highly optimized. Let's say they give you the information about the different potential loads that you can pick there, but also is reducing deadhead miles. It's guaranteeing that you are always rolling and reducing those inefficiencies. It reduces emissions also, and maximize the profit depending on the carrier preferences. And then it's on the size of information. And a big concept that we have been bringing to our company is the difference between data and information. Why this is so important? Because usually people don't know what to do with data. An example of that is when I give you, for example, the rate. I tell you, okay, $2.5 per mile. I'll pay you $2.5 per mile for this haul. Okay, how much is that? It's good or it's bad, right? If I just tell you that people are getting paid 2.5 as an average number, there is not much you can do, right? But if I tell you, for example, hey, you know what? 25% of the people of the market have been paying between $2 or less, another 25% between $2.50 and $2, another 25% between 2.50 and 3, and so on, right? So I tell you actually how much people are getting paid. So when you're negotiating, you know if the shipper or the broker is giving you or is giving you a low offer or is actually paying well, right? And that heavily depends on the conditions of the market, the competition of the market, right? So we want to provide people not data but actionable information. So pieces of information that they can use for specific purposes, right? Another good example is in the way that we propose our lanes is I'll give you what we define as a good lane. So for us, a good lane is not only a lane that is paying well because you're going to get on a good rate. No, that's not enough in this market. So what we do is we categorize those lanes in three factors. One factor is what is the profit potential of that lane? Second, how easy is booking that lane considering the competition? And third, how well connected are you going to be when you reach your destination? Because there is no purpose of getting to a destination where there is no next good load. We want our carriers to run between always good lanes.
Is there a trouble state like Florida? A lot of stuff going in that's hard to get out. I know that's Florida's got a reputation there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Florida is just one of those reputations that there's nothing being sent out, and it looks like you guys may have a solution as to how to get those lanes and help those drivers get out of there based off of those algorithms and or just the closest thing to it. I'm just wondering how you
Yeah.
guys deal with that challenge.
Definitely that example that you saw the other day about how to get out of Florida, for example. Remember?
Yeah, I mean, generally the algorithm is always looking at all the loads that we've compiled across all the boards and then determining, you know, the rates that, like he was saying, about what's the actual amount of money people are getting paid. And so what it can tell you is if you're in Florida and you're only seeing less than $2 per mile lanes getting out of there, well, what our algorithm can tell you is, hey, if you're in Miami, probably getting a lane out of the state of Florida is not really what you want to do. You want to take a load to Tampa and then Tampa maybe over to Jacksonville and then Jacksonville get out of Florida.
Uh,
Or just get yourself closer to the border where then you can jump up to Georgia and get into, the Athens, Atlanta, Macon lanes that are going to be paying a lot better. So it's always adjusting and just saying, okay, what is based on all the information that we have, what really is like your best choice or
yeah,
your top options,
Yeah.
really.
yeah, that makes it real simple. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure an experienced driver that's out there probably knows a lot of that too, but it's nice to know that that's built into the system.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people we talk to, they're like, they know you got to get up to Georgia. So go. What the only difference would be is that they'll say, hey, I'm just going to deadhead all the way to Valdosta. But that you could take a less than $2 load from Miami to Tampa and then Tampa to Valdosta, and that's going to be still mitigating some of your fuel costs versus just taking that straight deadhead up 95 all the way to Valdosta.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Something that
Uh,
happened often in the Florida case is people they are let's say they are coming from outside Florida, they get in because they made a good negotiation coming in. And then when they want to leave, they want to find something that is also good, right? But the thing is, often they are looking for lanes that are gonna make them busy for 1, 2 days, but that not necessarily is the best for their operation. We see often that what we call repositioning the truck is the best. Let's say at a short haul, that's what Gino was saying, from Miami to let's say for Myers or Orlando, and then later from that new position that is not making you much money, but is taking your truck to a best position, a better position, you can start then on a better route. Then this is the type of things that the power of information is gonna give you. It all will show you what is available, what is your best option, and then you have the freedom to choose what you think is the best for you. Because rather than just making decisions based on experience or based on rate, you will make decisions based on the right information that is
yeah,
actionable and trustworthy.
absolutely. You're building that trust with the driver and the system, because they're seeing that this is not something I have to try to work with. I have it, I paid for it, and now I got to help manipulate it to do what I needed to do. You guys have already thought about that. You've already put that work inside that system. That's really nice. How
Yeah.
did your economic and professional experiences shape your approach with problem solving and fixing a lot of things in the trucking industry with this program?
Yep.
Can answer that. Anyway.
Well, the whole concept of year routing is making more profit per mile, right? So that's key. And there are two ways to make that. Thinking about the financial solutions of this, right? There are two ways to do that in our service. So let's say 50% of this target of making more profit per mile is based on finding better deals, right? But
Yeah.
finding better deals that are connected, because you want to keep rolling. It doesn't make sense if I give you one good deal. No, I want you to run often good deals, right?
Yeah.
Reduce dead miles and save money in fuel. Okay, that's, let's say, on a first step in this whole service. But then there is another part of the service, which is reduce your operative costs. And the ways that we have for doing that now is, for example, fuel cards that are actually helping you to save money every time you refill the tank, and also factoring. Those are the fundamentals. But later on, we're going to have also options for reducing the cost by better deals in um, insurance, also in oil change, tires, etc. So
Mhm.
year routing is very targeted in a way to provide the best for carriers, because we are built for the carrier size. We have observed carriers that have been improving profitability in 40%. Not necessarily income, because income is not necessarily what you want. What you want is more profit. You get more in your pocket after you pay for all the expenditures. That's there is a big paradigm out there. People think just in terms of how much money I'm going to make this month. But yeah, how you have to pay, right?
Yeah.
So we can make more with less, as you always make the right decisions.
Yeah. Profit is important for any business. Was as far as with you, and your academic, for let's say someone that's young and that's in school, what was one thing that helped you academically, to get to this point in your life?
Well, honestly, for me, I've been just hard work. I'm having a purpose, having a purpose. Like really, since I was a child, I always knew what I wanted to do, and I knew that education wasn't a path for that. And then when I got to the point where I had a good education, I realized that to me it was no purpose in just knowing a lot of things that I wouldn't put at the service of people. And then I realized that the only way I could do that was giving that, designing something that I will give to the people that actually they can use for taking advantage of all that is available inside. Well, when I mean science is in terms of scientific field, but in particular my background is in optimization, mathematical optimization.
Mathematical
Uh,
optimization. All
yeah,
right.
and in particular in the field of logistics and supply chain management. One part of that is uh, freight transportation, which include the trucking industry.
Hmm.
So having a purpose is definitely on a big part of this. I'm from Colombia. I was living in Colombia when I started having this curiosity for this field. Then I came to the US because I was invited by a professor to continue my studies here, PhD studies here. And then when I came, I was closer to this industry. That definitely made a huge difference in my path, because one thing was like looking everything from the outside, and also not really connected with the industry. I was connected with the industry in my country because of my background with my grandpa business. But later here, I was like, okay, there is a lot of things that we can do here with the things that we know in from the scientific side, and then building that bridge between science and industry, that have been the big challenge, because there are many techniques, methods that solve many of the problems that we have out of this industry. But the tricky part is how you make it possible, how you translate those concepts to the actual application. And that's what we are doing here.
Yeah, it sounds like you're living a dream. Yeah, that's
Well,
pretty
kind of.
smooth.
Well, look, when you asked me about what are for the young people, what is my advice, kind of thing, I will say, well, having a purpose. That's good.
That's
But
the main
second,
thing. Yeah.
there is also isn't a purpose that is going to help people.
Yeah, that guidance too is what a lot of people are missing, and being able to see the future, seeing themselves in those positions to make a change. A lot of times people think that's already taken. There's already somebody there doing that. I mean,
Yeah.
placed yourself in these positions to do that, and EF routing is, I mean, that's a beautiful thing. Uh,
Yep.
what's the origin of EF routing? I know you mentioned about yourself, but
Yep.
I'm sure there were some earlier days with the industry. There were some problems that the design model, did you get it right from the get-go, or did you have to try it again a couple times, or how did the birth of EF routing happen?
Well, to start with, the name EF routing, stands for efficient routing. So that's the original concept. Because uh, when we started with EF routing, the whole concept was about how to make operations more efficient, and efficiency also. Well, in this case, is highly correlated with making more money, making profitable operations. So there are two other partners, two other founders that also are scientists, and we start building up this main concept. So the early beginning, we knew that we had something that was valuable, but we were not still confident about what was the specific service that we had to supply. So our way to go was go and speak with the carriers, with dispatchers, with shippers, and learn from their experiences and the problems that we're experiencing. Um, that was a big part of that. But also, as I say, I was working for different projects for different companies, university, even the government of California. And then I think I had like different puzzles from this big equation, put it together, and then when I was done with the school, say, okay, this is the time where I really want to put this together.
Nice.
But what you see there, like the algorithms that are behind, we design it ourselves. It's everything based on our experience and knowledge. Um, but as I say, we were working. My main area of work was main field of work was working with electric trucks. How to make electric trucks profitable because they have a limitation. They have an unlimited range. So the batteries don't provide a really long range, and then
Yeah.
the charging time is also very long. So with those limitations, can we have a profitable operation in trucking? That was a big question I have. And then, yeah, we found a solution for that. And then that was pretty much theoretical, more for the strategy point of view for the state of California and other agencies. But then later, as I say, when I was out of the university, then I decided, okay, now all this knowledge that I have here, I can design my own different system, but now targeting the trucks that we have in the US, well, the ones that we have the most. And then this is how we start working on this. Then when we got to the field, well, the lack of information was definitely a problem, but also the way that people were making decisions. Like when you speak with a dispatcher, we were very curious, like, okay, so how do you dispatch this? How do you decide where to go? So we found out that most of the time what they do is either experience or they are guided by the rate. This is paying a lot, I'll go there. That's what they do.
Um, so you're fairly confident with the equipment that a new driver could hop in the seat, use EF routing, and be profitable. Like, what's the turnaround? Is it probably some lag in that? Maybe Gino can speak on it, or what?
Yeah. I mean, what we've experienced with some users that sign up right after they've gotten their authority is they think this is going to be the solution for them to operate profitably, but then they run into issues booking the loads just because of the age of their authority. Their MC number is coming back as too young, and brokers are denying them, saying, sorry, we're not going to give you this load. So
Ah,
we've had those users come to us and say, hey, what the heck, this is supposed to work, and all we can say is The advice everyone has for a new authority is to work with another company until that authority has at least a year's age on it, because brokers are not just going to give an independent owner operator with a brand new authority their loads.
But they
So
could with this
yeah, they
routing.
absolutely could, and this system could
Yeah.
work if they're able to like make good relationships with brokers. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
From day one. So
Yeah.
if they had their authority, what's the best way for it to mature? Just link it with another company, or
Yeah,
can they
lease
just
on or try to get in with a broker that has enough loads that you can just be running
that
enough
that
with them.
relationship?
For sure.
But also, there are some brokers that they are well known for accepting fresh new also carriers, and well, you will see them in the platform. I think the only difference between a brand new carrier and a old carrier or a carrier with more experience is the fact that when you build that reputation, it will be easier for you to book any load. For the new ones, it's a little bit harder, but it's part of the process.
Maybe maybe those brokers need to be more familiar with EF routing.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love more brokers to learn about our system, because even for them, it could be really useful to be able to tell a carrier that you're working with that you like to give loads to how they can remain profitable, including the load they're taking from you, by connecting it with other loads in a route that we've designed.
Is there a success rate or anything when someone uses your platform that they see a big change in their numbers?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a really good question. Uh, this isn't a process where you systematically are making good decisions, right? So at the beginning, there isn't a setup time for the user to get to use the concept and then also understand how to operate. I will say in the first month, you definitely will see what is the benefit of this. I mean, you can see right away what's the benefit, but when you get to experience it, because usually people they are used to do things in a very specific way, but then later, when they see that it's also very straightforward the way we do things, uh, they get to love the concept and see the benefit. Right.
Nice.
So I mean, I think we can show them
Yeah,
how it looks
I
like.
was thinking it might be time. Yeah, let's check this
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Yeah. Share screen. Let's see. All
There we
right.
go.
You
I can
see
see
that?
it. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay. So this is the dashboard when you log in. This is the sort of way to see all of the routes that you've already taken. Sorry, let me scroll over. See all the routes that you've already taken, and like a sort of a report on your revenue, your mileage, profitability. And then if you actually want to get to using our features over here on the left, just to see the loads, like let's say you just want to do a load search. So what we're going to do right away is tell you what your recommended options are. So if you got a dry van, let's say you're in Atlanta, and it's going to automatically do that analysis of the market for the last few days and tell you what are the best lanes out of Atlanta right now that we recommend. And they're based on those factors that Carlos was talking about. So your profit potential, meaning for the mileage and the going rates, that's how much profit per mile is going to be at the top. And then all those numbers, sorry, are out of 100. So score of 95, that's a good score. Score of 87, that's still good. Also, it's color coordinated, so they're all in the green. Sometimes you'll see yellow or red for lower scores. And then also ease of booking is related to how many loads, so the total volume of loads in that lane versus the number of trucks that are in there booking those loads. Tells you a little bit of basically how easy it's going to be to just click on a load in that lane and call up the broker and have them say, yeah, let's get started on negotiations. And then the connectivity is just telling you based on that destination, how well connected that is to other good lanes once you get out of there. So for example, you're in Atlanta with a dry van, we're recommending going to Baltimore. And before you even look at the loads to Baltimore, you want to just have that idea in your head about what your next step is going to be out of Baltimore. So you click next lane, and now we're showing you the top lanes out of Baltimore. So you'll be able to stay in the Northeast, most likely are your best options. So if you don't want to stay in the Northeast, you go back to your Atlanta search and look at your other options.
Yeah, it looks real clean.
North Carolina.
Easy to look at. I mean, it's nice on
Yeah.
the eyes. I like
Yeah.
that.
Thank you. And so let's say I want to just see the loads Atlanta to Charlotte right now. So you punch in Charlotte, but maybe I also want to see those loads to Baltimore, and I also want to just see the loads to Philadelphia. So I've punched in 3 different lanes. I'm going to click search, and it's going to bring up all the live loads for those 3 lanes. And I can compare contact brokers, see what they're paying. And so yes, you've got, sorry, I've got a window in my way. We've got between those 3 lanes, we have 382 loads right now. And I don't know that that's even including our truck stop integration.
Nope.
Which I don't have a number with me right now, but we can integrate with truck stop if you have a truck stop pro subscription. So we are able to get an integration number with them, and then you will see all of the truck stop loads here as well.
Wow,
Yeah.
Explaining what is this?
that's beautiful.
Yeah. So we also, I think Carlos was saying about how we are able to get enough data for actual transactions for rate per mile to be able to tell you what the range is for a given lane. So when you're looking at just Atlanta to Charlotte, what this is showing is in the last few days, the top performing carriers or the best negotiators are getting loads at or above 272 per mile. So we have real data points from carriers we're working with, getting data from brokers, and also factoring companies that are able to essentially within their system convert a bunch of rate con documents into data points. So they can say, okay, in the last 7 days, we have a bunch of different rate per mile data for you between Atlanta and Charlotte. Here you go. And we get that. And then we are able to tell you. So the low end of carriers are only getting $2.06 per mile, but the top end are getting 272. So if you're on our load search and you're seeing loads that are above 272, you know that you're talking with brokers that are paying well or paying better than they were a few days ago.
Yeah.
In this case, you're seeing a lot of loads, 389 per mile. I think there were some for over $4 a mile between the 150-mile radius of Atlanta to the 150-mile radius of Charlotte.
Yeah.
And I like how you got the efficiency that is attracting the driver versus the costs, and the shippers that are attracting drivers based off the cost. You're more attracting them based off efficiency, and I think that kind of gets the shipper away from finagling the price. Is that kind of what you see, or
Yeah. Yeah.
because
I
it
think,
seems like
I
they're
mean, Carlos can
pricing.
talk about that more, but the idea is that the more transparency we have in the market for both sides, the carrier and the broker shipper, the less it's about negotiating over $100, $200 increments. And it's more about
Yeah,
creating efficiency. I'm a carrier in this area. I have a good record. I'm ready to book this load. I should be able to just click a button and let's just get the process done with so I can get that load taken care of.
kind of
And
like
that's
you
the
give
idea.
respect to both sides and versus one side having the advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I like that. That's really cool.
The year round and the whole concept is about the power of information. This is part of the power of information. You see right away. It's not only about taking being efficient in the way that you analyze things, but also is giving you more opportunities, more chances for both sides, right? Avoiding what is not good for you and choosing what is good for you.
I like that.
You want to
Yeah,
show them the
that's
route?
Yep.
that's yeah. Show me more.
Yeah, so that's just the load search function, making some basic recommendations just from wherever you're at. But then with the route planner, this is this is the real technology that came out of Carlos's research, which was to actually starting from point A, like where the truck is based, the home city or wherever the operation is centered. How can we plan a whole week's worth for a truck to get out into the market, connect different loads together, and then get that truck back for maintenance or get the driver back actually in their house for that break period. And so this is what you do. You can plan a complete route with this system. You also have the option of just designing your own. Maybe you have your own contracted freight that you want to try and build a plan around. You can do that here. You can also, let's say you just have a contracted lane and you just are having a hard time planning backhauls where it's always the broker offering a way cheaper rate to get that truck on a load, taking it back home. Well, with this, you can, if you have enough time to get home, you can plan buy hauls or try hauls where you're taking multiple loads, connecting them to get it back home.
Yep.
After you've done that carry. So I'm just going to do an example. We'll create a complete route. Do again a drive in. Let's just stick with the example of Atlanta. And then let's say we're going to start out tomorrow. Sorry, what day is it? Fifth, sixth. Oh. And so what this is going to do now is it's that same sort of analysis of the market, the way the load search was doing, but now it's going to take it a step further and offer you different recommended connections of lanes together. So instead of just that recommendation to go to Baltimore, how about we recommend you go to Baltimore and then you go to Philly and then you go to Chicago and then you get back to Atlanta, that kind of thing.
So for example, this is the first one is on a route for 3-4 days. That's the range. Can you show what is the range of income? For example, 3-4 days, you're gonna make $3,190 to $3,700. Doesn't mean you can make more. It means that people have been getting paid in that range in the last few days. Okay, go ahead.
And so how we do that is we base it off of the actual availability of loads in the last few days. So we know that on average, if you're trying to start this route on a Tuesday, we know in the last few Tuesdays, there's been about 310 loads on a Tuesday from Atlanta to Athens. So we think you're going to have a good chance of getting one of those 310 loads to Athens. And then once you get to Athens, that's a short trip. Hopefully, if you can get one in the morning, do a drop off, pick up your second load of the day from Athens, get to Greenville, 266 loads on average. And then the next day, you'll be able to take a load Greenville to Chicago, and then Chicago back to Atlanta.
Be a little devil's advocate. What if from point Athens to point Greenville, right? South Carolina. What if there's a major accident?
Yep.
Or maybe, unfortunately, there's a tire blowout on your own rig. That slows you up making that leg up to Chicago.
So we can adjust for that. So we have a system that allows you to deal with these sorts of circumstances because we know, that's common. People have to be able to adjust. So what you can do, actually, if you want to take them through that part, this is a new feature we just launched. So I'm going to let Carlos take the wheel here.
Yeah. So what happened sometimes is, as you say, unexpected situations raise, and then you have to change your plan, but you don't want to hurt your profit and your schedule. So what you do, let's say you couldn't complete this part of the plan, this lane. So I'm going to eliminate this one. Then now the system is going to tell you, look, now this is disconnected. You really need to fix this because you don't want to run from Athens to Greensville empty. So what are you going to do? So the first thought you will have is, okay, so I can just start over on a new complete route, or you can just fix it. Let's say we want to fix it. So click here, fix, and then the system is going to give you different options for fixing that route. Let's say, for example, the first one is going in one lane, right? Athens to Greensville, but that's not a good option right now because look, it's telling you that it's not repetition capacity, so there are not many loads available in that. But you can do also the second option, which is convenient, is Athens to Greensville. Athens to Dayton, Ohio and Dayton to Greensville because there are a good connection there. So if you like this one, you add it to the route, and then you're going to have that route now fixed. When you are in the actual process of booking this plan, you just click here, find loads, and then the system is going to take you to those specific loads that are available for that. So that one, the first one, which was the ones that I speak, is supposed to start tomorrow, but you can see the loads right away here. So there are right now 382 loads for that lane. Okay, so you want to go back to that route, and let's assume, no, it's routes. Let's assume that you are almost done, and then you are in somewhere in the US. What was that one? This one. And then you want to backhaul because you are done now. Let's say you are in Atlanta. I'm going to eliminate this one just to give you a better idea. Okay. So now you're in Chicago, but you have to go back to Atlanta. Then you go here. You are done driving. You have been on the road for a week. Now you want to go back home. The question always is, what's the best way to go back home making money, right? So you go here, automatic route, and then again, you have 3 different options. So one is take me back to the origin, in this case, Atlanta, right? Or please find me the best route to connect from A to B, right? Or suggest me what are the good options now of 2 lanes connected or 3 lanes connected starting from the point that I'm right now. In this case, let's say you want to go back home. So this is going to be Friday. Then the system is going to tell you, okay, there are 3 different ways you can go home. You can go direct. Then if you go direct, this is how much money you will make per day, right? Or you can go in 2 steps, which is in a buy hole. Tell you, okay, 2 steps, and there are different options. Or even you can go with 3 steps that usually make you more profit per mile and more money. So you always have all those options. And also you can filter out things, for example, like states that you don't want to go. If you don't want to have weekend dispatch, you want to, for example, limit the number of days that you want to be on the road, etc. So in this case, I'm just going to pick this one. And now that decision is added to your lane, to your route. If for any reason you want to go again lane by lane, you just click here, say you're here, add new lane, and then the system, as before, it suggests you what are the best lanes leaving from there. Okay.
Wow. Man, great work, guys.
Yeah. So
that's amazing.
That just to summarize, this section is always giving you what is best out there, and based on your preferences, you pick what you like, right?
Okay.
If for any reason the plan that you had is not working, you always can fix it. So you complete your plan on time and with the money that you want to make, right?
All right. So those shippers, so will it notify the receiving or if something goes wrong, or that's something the driver has to do?
So currently we don't have that functionality. In this case, the dispatcher or the driver have to report them that they have a problem in the case they have it. But we are focusing in the operation. In the future, we're going to have features like that.
Really?
To give them access to have this information. Can you show them, for example, data? So part of our mission is also to educate people. The first one.
Yeah, but it stopped shooting. Oh no, it's still there.
Yeah.
You want to go to data?
Yeah. So part of our mission here is also to educate people how to use these type of tools. So the platform has a lot of material to educate yourself. For example, go to load trends. Click the first one, right? Okay, so for example, this is a box plot, which is one of the charts that is very common to analyze rate. What's the behavior of the rate? When you go here and you see this the first time, you might be overwhelmed because you are not familiar with this type of chart, right? But then you click it here, and then the system is going to tell you right away, okay, what's the meaning of this rate? This indicator, what's the meaning? But also, it helps you teach you how to interpret this data. In this case, it's telling you, okay, look, you have to see what is the minimum value that the chart is showing you, and then look at the second one, which is quartile one. So whatever is in quartile one, between quartile one and minimum, that's a low rate for the market conditions, and so on. Right? You see the other classifications. Even
Wow.
if you don't really know how to interpret it still, the system will do it for you. It tells you, okay, so for the day of today, in the US in general, if you get paid more than 255 for a drive-in, that's an excellent rate. Okay, consider the market conditions. But also we have other options that are useful for improving your decisions about where to go, where is the best area to explore.
Yeah.
So let's say, um, let's go back to the Atlanta example. We are here, and I want to see what's the behavior of all the lanes the last 7 days for a drive, and all the lanes leaving from the city of Atlanta. So here on the right, you will see all the lanes that are having leaving in Atlanta for the last 7 days. You can do it also for 3 days or even the current day. And then you want just to get stick with the green ones, which are the ones that are paying the most, right? More
Wow.
than 221. So you see right away, okay, this is the average of all these places, right?
That's
Uh,
slick.
and then you have here also the consumption rate, which is our proprietary indicator to tell you about how competitive is that lane. For example, the first one, Atlanta to the Memphis in Alabama, it had a consumption rate of 35. It means just 35% of the loads that are available per day are taken. So there is a good opportunity here. And on average, there are 69 loads per day. So that's a good opportunity at the moment. So you can really find good opportunities with this tool.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's great. That's really great optics. I like that. Man.
Yeah, we have 13 different indicators that are our proprietary indicators for different um, extract different information from there, make different decisions, and the whole thing. So our platform is designed in a way that you advance when you feel confidence. You always start here with loads, which is very easy to understand. And it's kind of similar to what they are used to, which is an a load board. And then later on, you can move to the route section and understand how it works, get to use it, get to uh, experience the benefits, and then also you can do later data and so on. There is always a process where people are getting more familiar with, and then they get to enjoy the whole functionalities. Anyways, we also help people to get to use it. We offer training for free.
Wow. Hey, man, that's a great feature. Great value.
Yes.
Yeah, huge value.
And we always are putting in our platform new features that we hear from our customers and feedback. For example, let's assume that it's a Friday and you are in Chicago. So you are in Chicago, it's a Friday, you have a truck that you want to dispatch from there, but you don't want to do any work during the weekend. You don't want to dispatch during the weekend. So you want to find a load Friday and guarantee that the truck is going to be running the whole weekend. So you click it here in the different options for the system to search. The one that you're seeing now is recommended lanes, but also you have this option, for example, 3+ days of driving. So say it's a Friday, then you want this truck to run Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so these are the options available, right? And here is a good option. What we were saying before. Look, you have driving, and the system is telling you, okay, look, if you go to Miami, you can make profit because they are paying well, right? This is 2 days of driving, and you are going to make up to $3,300, which is and a good rate for the market conditions. Is moderate to find the load, but look, when you get there to Miami, it's not that easy to get out of there. So don't get just lured by the money you're making,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So this is what the systems on you. But today is a Monday. So later during the week, probably these numbers are going to change. In fact, this is changing all the time, daily. It's in real time.
It's massive.
Yeah, you have other options. For example, you want to have 1, 2 days of driving, or for example, best connectivity. Let's say you're in a hole, you want to get out of there. So the system tells you, okay, look, these are the best places to reposition your truck, so you can later connect with a better lane.
What about weak spots in the system? Let's say it goes down. What do you guys put in place for that, or just haven't had that problem? What do you?
We haven't had that problem, honestly. It's
Yeah.
never gone down. It's never the only thing really is that right now what we do is just for dry van, flatbed, and reefer. And so the only real issue that we're facing right now is just building the system to be able to be functional for power only, hot shots, auto
Flatbed.
transports, different like heavy haul,
Yeah, well, maybe already have.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
really, I like that. It never goes down.
yeah.
yeah. So it's
Hmm.
yeah, all our services are living in the cloud, so you can access them from anywhere. So
Wow. What are the chances that a large company could adopt this program and have it retrofitted for something that they use? Is that something you guys do too?
Yeah, we're doing that right now with a couple larger carriers, 150 trucks or more, where we're essentially integrating any load board that we don't currently integrate with, but they have a account with. We're able to integrate that with our system for them. Also with all of their contracted freight that they handle through their TMS, we're able to integrate that. So then they're able to basically have their TMS plus the EF routing tools to then do all of their planning with our optimization.
Wow. I mean, that'd be cool for huge companies like FedEx or XPO or anybody like that too one day. That'd be nice if they can update their systems to that, because the technology is here and you guys are using it and making it
Yeah,
better each day. I mean, you're adding to it. I mean, that's huge. I mean,
yeah,
what a great tool. I mean,
yeah,
man.
this is a continuous process of improvement. We are very focused. We're very user oriented. So every time we have a new user, we speak with them, show them what we have, receive feedback, put together all the feedback, and try to uh, improve it for them. We are very committed to make their life easier. So,
Wow.
so we
Oh,
believe.
nice. Let's see what else we got here on the agenda or segment. Let's see. Make sure we cover everything. So, I mean, you guys are really transforming the trucking industry. Things you guys are doing are gonna go on for years. I see a lot of good things. What are some key lessons you've learned that you think will be critical success in the industry as far as using this platform? What do you think people should look out for? Some key things that
Okay.
make them successful.
Well, the way that we build up this concept that is based on the information, I think that's the main consideration any carrier company should consider at the moment because I'll give you a good example of that. 3 years ago, when we have this boom of loads for the pandemic, everybody was making money. Yeah? So we have an excess of loads on the market, so the prices were good. But now, the last year, we have been facing this crisis at the industry. And now it's more evident the lack of efficiency in the operations they do. So you really want to improve operations in the trucking industry? My personal belief is you need three things. The first thing is you really need to have access to information so you can decide better, right? Second, you really need to plan. It cannot be random. And when I mean plan here, you really need to think about your strategy in the market. We help to do that also. Say you have a truck that is located in Chicago, right? Okay, what are the areas that you really want to go to, or the ones that you don't want to go, by considering the different factors that impact that, like the scale of the driver, the type of vehicle you have, etc. So you need a plan. You need a plan for the strategy in the long term, the medium term, but also in the day by day. So we need in the industry to have a connection between that strategy, long-term strategy, and short-term strategy with the operative day to day. So when both are connected, then you can succeed in the way that you operate your business. And third, you really need to understand, you need to keep track of your performance so you can improve during time. So continuous improvement is definitely a key here. And I think most of the users that are owner operators, often I hear things like, oh, I have been running the same lane for 10 years. Or no, I don't do any other lane because I just don't know about that. I don't know that if there isn't a good load. I don't even know if when I get there, I'm gonna get another lane, right? So continuous improvement is definitely important in this. So those are my three advices in this sense.
I like it. That's really really huge. How about Gino on the sales side of things? You welcome everyone to give you guys a try. How can they reach out to you guys? What's some of the ways that they could contact you for more?
Yeah, the I would say the best way is to get on our website and schedule a demo with me or another one of the support team. So you just go to efrouting.com. There'll be a button to click to get a demo. Also, we offer a totally free 14-day trial. So you just put in your email, you create an account, and it starts you off with 14 days of full access to see and use all the features. But I would say to really get the most out of it, it would be good to go through all of them together. So
Hmm,
a demo would be great. So yeah, you
nice.
just go to the website. You can also contact me, Gino at efrouting.com, and I can get you set up.
It's
Man,
important. It's important for people to know that EF routing is not only about the platform that you see there. EF routing is a whole ecosystem solutions for making more profit per mile. So some some users they might need something extra. They might need to get access to another type of information that we don't have there. And the fact is, we actually have a lot of information that we don't post there because it's for specific solutions for specific clients. So if anyone is facing a situation right now of low profitability, EF routing is a solution for that. We can help them with that. So
even like
use, yeah,
consultations and things like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, that's
yeah.
huge. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm
Thanks for
really
having
proud
us.
to have you on the show, man. That was a great demo, a good eye opener for a lot of listeners to. I'll make sure that the listeners can listen to what we have and also be able to see it. Make sure that's available as well. Put that out there for people because they need this right now. I'm hoping that next year, after the political year is over, that trucking industry will come back booming. And so this now's the time to hit the ground and get your affairs in order. That's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, and something else we can do, I'll talk to the team in the back and we'll get a special coupon code. So anybody with this who's watching this, they can get a discount. We'll do like 50% off for the first
Yep.
3 months. So if
Yep.
they wanted to get a longer usage out of it, we can do
Heck
that.
Yep.
yeah. Sweet. Yeah. Good night. That's awesome, guys.
Awesome.
I mean, it's such a great journey that you are displaying for people. I mean, very proud that you've done that with your life. I mean, we
Thank you.
need more people like you. And yeah, that's huge, man. I mean, that's amazing. And then the
Oh, we can
relationship
we
the two
can
of you have
uh,
looks great. I mean, how did you guys meet?
That's a funny story. So Carlos, he was studying in Colombia and then got the opportunity to start a PhD in California. But to actually start the PhD, he couldn't really go there with his visa until like right at the very start of the term. But he needed to find housing. So, and I was in a similar situation coming from Southern California at the time, not able to really spend much time going up to that university to look for housing. So we both were just on Facebook groups looking for housing. And there was a couple that had a 3 bedroom apartment and they were looking for other roommates. So they reached out to both of us individually, set up meetings with us individually. So I met with the couple on like a FaceTime call, and then so did he. And then they put it together and said, "Hey, we found Carlos, we found Gino. It's going to be great. Let's all sign this 1 year lease." So we signed a lease over email. I had never even had a conversation with Carlos.
Yeah.
And then we met the day we moved into that apartment. And we were roommates
Yeah.
2 other times after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked out well.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, that's awesome. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, if you can live with somebody, you definitely should be able to work with somebody. Hopefully
Oh
that's
yeah.
if you can't, then you know right away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
of
sure.
course. Yeah, that happened 6 years ago, and here we are.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I wish you guys the best. I wish that just keeps growing. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
well, I mean, I hope that I can continue have a relationship with you guys too, and
Oh,
hope
of
we can
course.
grow with this too. And I
Yeah,
love
we'd
being
love
a
to
part of it
promote your
all.
show. We can post it on everything, and we'd be happy to see you grow too. So
Awesome, man. All right, that's what we need. We need more of this in the world. So.
Great. Thank
You guys made my day, made my week here, and I hope that
you.
we can do your respect and do a show that you appreciate and like. So yeah, that's all. I usually don't try to take up too much time. It just usually comes about an hour or so, and yeah, we just sum it all up. Thank you so much, Carlos, for joining us today and sharing your insights. It's been a pleasure learning more about EF routing and the innovative solutions. And you're so nice to have another guest with us too, Gino. Thank you so much for your time and explanations and also sharing that demo. I mean, that was great. And I think a lot of people in the trucker industry are going to love this episode. So if you want to know more and reach out to online to their website, a lot of the contact information will be provided online. And that wraps it up for this episode of That's Delivered. Thank you for tuning in. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe and to leave a review. We love hearing from all of our listeners and share it with your friends. Until next time, keep on trucking, stay safe out there on the road. That's most important. And always keep the right side up and the dirty side down. Take care, guys.
Yeah,
have a good
thank
one.
you.
Thank
All
you.
right, take care. Bye now.